Hey kids, welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Faith. Today, we're going to be talking about something really cool, the armor of God. Now I know you've probably heard about putting on armor before for protection, but did you know that God gives us special armor to protect us spiritually? And this armor is powerful because it helps us stand strong when we face challenges. In the book of Ephesians, God gives us 6 pieces of armor. So let's break it down and see what each part of this awesome armor set represents. You guys ready? Let's go. Welcome to God's Armory. Up first, we are going to talk about the belt of truth. Now this belt is super important because it holds everything together. Truth is the foundation of everything we do. Knowing God's truth helps us stay strong and steady. No matter what happens, we can find this truth in the Bible. So let's put on the belt of truth. Next, we have the breastplate of righteousness. Now, breastplate protects the knight's chest and heart. Righteousness means doing what's right and being like Jesus. When we trust in Him, He makes us right with God, and that keeps our heart safe. So let's put on our breastplate of righteousness. Up next, let's talk about the shoes of the readiness of the gospel of peace. Now these shoes are awesome because they help us be ready to share God's good news and the gospel of peace with everyone we meet. Just like how shoes help us walk, the gospel helps us take steps to share Jesus' love everywhere we go. So let's put on our shoes of the readiness of the gospel of peace. Here's our shield of faith. Now this shield is super strong, and it protects us from anything the enemy might throw at us, like doubts or fears. When we trust in God, our faith works just like this shield, keeping us safe. So let's put on our shield of faith. Check out the helmet of salvation. Now this helmet protects our minds and our head. Salvation means that Jesus saved us from our sin, and we remember that. And we can be confident in God's love for us. It helps us to think the right way and stay focused on God's promises and what Jesus did for us on the cross. So let's put on our helmet of salvation. Now, let's look at the sword of the Spirit. Now, this is a unique because it is the only weapon we have in the armor of God. And do you know what is the sword of the Spirit? It's the Word of God, our Bibles. Just like a sword helps a warrior fight, the Bible helps us fight against temptation and sin. It's our most powerful tool to know what's right. And we can always use it at any time of the day. So let's equip the sword of the Spirit. When we put on the whole armor of God, just as the Bible tells us to do, we can fight off all the things that the devil throws at us. With our belt of truth, we are defended from the lies of the devil. With the breastplate of righteousness, we are free from the sins of this world that aim to hurt our hearts. With the shoes of the readiness of the gospel of peace, we get to go and tell others that Jesus died for them and saved them from their sins. Our shield of faith protects us against all doubts we may have and all the things that the devil throws against us. Our helmet of salvation protects our minds from the temptations of the devil. And finally, our sword of the Spirit allows us to fight against the devil just as Jesus used the Bible to fight against the devil. All right, kids, I hope you learned a little something about the armor of God and how we can put on the helmet of salvation, the belt of truth, the shield of faith, the breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of the readiness of the gospel of peace, and the sword of the Spirit, our Bibles. And I hope that every day you make sure to put on the armor of God so that we can all stay protected against all the bad things that the devil throws against us. And I'll see you next time at Adventures in Faith.
Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one.